Hey yogis, it's Maud here, and welcome to your When in Doubt, Ring It Out yoga class. The word tight is probably the most commonly used adjective for students or non yoga practitioners when it comes to dealing with stress or being overwhelmed or being lethargic or just having a life event that's just brought you to a place where you haven't been moving a lot. And so everybody just says, I just feel tight. And so this is a great class for you to take when you do feel tight and you feel all of those words that I may have just mentioned, and you just need to wring stuff out of your body, right? Not only mentally or emotionally, but physically, we're going to get there for sure. But I hope that translates to you also just letting go of some of the stuff that feels stuck, that are maybe just causing you to not open yourself up mentally, emotionally, physically, but also to just feel sort of guarded and not really growing and not evolving, not getting to a place where you can just move forward and stay open and vulnerable and be open to possibilities. And so, when in doubt, ring it out. As far as props go, I have my trusty blocks. Feel free to grab your blanket, your cushion, whatever it is that you have. But we are going to get started in a seated position. So, I'm going to sit on top of a block, and you can sit cross legged if you like, or you can sit in hero pose or virasana, like I am, where the blocks are clipped between the ankles, underneath your bums, or just sit in any way that feels comfortable to you. Just relax your fingers down your lap, elongate the spine, and really set yourself up here so that you feel already proud just being here and like you're doing the right thing. Relaxing your face, relaxing your shoulders. And before we get to breathing, I want you guys to just move forward, lean back, lean to your right and left, just forward, back, and side to side, whichever direction you prefer. And you can do this definitely sitting on a chair or sitting cross legged or sitting in any way that feels comfortable to you. Just focus mostly on just sending the upper body forward, back, and side to side. One more time, just like that. Perhaps your lower back is already talking to you. And so stop at the center. Lift your shoulders up towards the ears. Inhale. And as you exhale, just slowly roll them back and down. One more time. Inhale here. Slowly roll them back and down. Start to close the eyes, or if you don't want to do that, just keep your gaze soft towards the floor and place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. Relaxing your elbows down best you can. Let's take an inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Inhale through nose. Open the mouth and sigh. Last time through, inhale in. And exhale out. Nice job. Keep breathing. If you like to have your lips come together, just part your teeth behind it. Just separate the teeth and relax the tongue. So keep breathing like that, mindfully inhaling, feeling the expansion in your rib cage, not just the belly. Chest also rises, and then exhale, come back to home base. Let the hands feel your heartbeat and stay connected to that rhythm and that cadence. And your belly is on the area of your fire, your core, your internal boiler room. So feel the movement in both spots. As your belly moves, feel your ribcage also inflate like a balloon. And then exhale, come back home, come to your center. Do that a couple more times. Focus on the breath. You're already setting yourself up to let go. Already setting yourself up for some movement and to remove stuff. Whatever that quote unquote stuff is, only you would know. But that is our mission for today, and we'll do the best we can. Last time here. Exhale. Beautiful. You can blink your eyes open. Shake your arms and shake your wrists. Interlace your fingers together, and then lengthen your arms, and then open your palms out. And then close them in, knuckles out. Palms out, and knuckles out. Just loosening up the wrist, letting the forearms feel a little bit of sensation, especially if you, like me, have a job that kind of relegates you to behind the desk, in front of the computer, just feeling some sensation here in the arms. Maybe 2 more times, palms out, knuckles out. Last 2. Here we go. And shake it off. Release. Place your hands behind the head. You can interlace them, but just open the elbows. Keep your side body long. And then slowly make a circle with your left elbow in one direction. And as you come down, feel like you're doing a crunch on that side. And as you open up and lift the elbows up, feel like you're lengthening on that side. So the shape, the association may be focused on that elbow, but the sensation really is happening on that waistline, the side body. Already starting to wring out some of the stuff like a towel, but instead of just making it a static ring, we're just going to keep moving here. 2 more times in this circle, whether you're going clockwise or counterclockwise, just stay right there. Last one through, and then let's reverse the motion. Just feel like you're evenly treating both sides. I know it's kind of hard. And if you want to move slower than I am and moan and groan, especially for those of us with sedentary jobs, even as we do stand during the day, but we just lose track of time as we're in front of the computer, in front of our phones, and doing our 9 to 5s. Do a couple more in this direction. 2. And 1. Whew. All right. Keep your fingers and hands there behind the head. Inhale here. And lift the heart, lift the head up, eyes to the sky. And as you exhale, keeping the spine long, eyes to the earth, elbows come in. Feel a little bit of stretch in the back of the neck. Inhale, open elbows, eye to the sky. Exhale, elbows and spine is long, eyes to the earth. Couple more just like that. Just loosening up the neck. But also the hands are there to feel support, but to add a little bit of sensation in the back of the neck. Even the trapezius muscles, which is kind of like in that corner when where the neck and the shoulder meet or the upper back meet. One last time. Nice job. Open the arms and just open and close your hands. And then just pick a side, right? So I'm going to mirror you here. So this would be your right arm right here. Turn your right arm in as you turn your left arm out. And then let's go the other way. Left arm turns in, right arm turns out. And there's really no wrong way to do this because every body looks different. And so your experience is a little bit different. But do a couple more times. This is an actual wringing motion, right? And so just feel the movement get a little bit bigger and bigger as your shoulders allow a little bit of wider range of motion the more you do this. Keep spreading your fingers. Excuse me. One more time. Beautiful. Slow down and drop the arms down. Now just come back to home base, come back to where we started. Just have a seat and notice any changes in your body. Notice any physical changes, and then notice any changes that are going beyond the physical. Maybe you are breathing better. Maybe your mind feels a little bit more uncluttered, perhaps with just those few moments and few movements. Inhale, one more, check. And then exhale. Nice job. All right, remove the block or any prop you have out of the way. And let's get our hands and knees down on the mat. Keeping your hands spread, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Before we do our cat cows, which we usually do when we're in this pose, all I want you guys to do is to tuck your toes in the back, widen your knees a little bit, and then send your hips to your 4 o'clock, and then your 8 o'clock, and then your 10 and 2. So we're just doing some circles here with the hips. Tucking the toes in the back kind of just sets the lower back so that you're not in this dumping shape. If the ankles aren't ready, the lower back isn't ready, you feel a little bit lifted, and you don't have to feel too much compression as the hips go back towards the heels. I hope that makes sense to you guys. One more circle this direction. And then let's go the other way, keeping the toes tucked. Inhaling as you move forward and exhaling as you go back. Only if that feels good to you. I know a lot of people have different experiences in breathing and with their breathing. So just go with whatever feels comfortable to you. Do one more circle right here. Nice job. Come to center. Walk your knees in a little bit to be hip width apart. And we're just going to step our right foot back and push your heels back, opening up the back of the leg. Now, keeping the foot where it is, just send your hips to the left. Send your hips to the right. You can even turn the upper body to the left. Woo, that is a wringing motion. About 2 more times just like this. Again, the movement gets a little bit bigger and bigger the more time you spend here. If this feels good to you, hit the pause button and do more than I'm doing. Come to center, right knee in, left foot steps back. Push the heel back. Open up the back of that left leg. For those of us who sit a lot, this is good to just open the backs of the knees, just to open the backs of the legs. And then send your hips to the right, keeping the foot where it is. Send your hips to the left. Hips to the right. Hips to the left. Getting bigger and bigger one more time, or do more. Like I said, there's always the pause button. Do 20 or 12 or 20. Doesn't matter. One more time each side. And then slowly come to center. Now, our cat-cows will feel lovely. Zip your belly up first. Neutralize that spine. Soften the back and the neck. Spread fingers. And then let's do our cow pose, which is arching the spine, lifting the tailbone, and then looking up. And then going the other way, rounding the spine. Look towards your navel and push the floor away. Keep going with this motion. Breathe in any way that feels comfortable to you. There is some school of thought, that has come up in the recent years where in yoga we tend to cue when to inhale and when to exhale. And cat-cow is the classic example where we typically tell people to inhale as you goo the cow, which is this one when you arch the spine, and exhale as you round. And there are more and more people out there saying that's not necessarily the case for everybody. And so instead of dictating to you guys when to breathe, maybe you just find that out for yourself. And these are just basic recommendations. Nice job. All right. Send your left knee in towards the midline, but walk your left knee back a little bit. So it's in the midline where you were, and then just back it off maybe 3 inches, and then cross your right knee in front of that left, keeping your hands on blocks or on the mat, fingers spread wide. So we did that wringing motion earlier with our legs. We're going to start dropping your left hip towards the left. It's not going to totally drop, but just bring it there. And then sending your right hip to the right. Now this time you can sort of hover it maybe 1/2 inch or 1 inch off the mat. Sending hips left, sending hips right. Ooh, this always feels good to my lower back. Regardless of when I do it, or where I do it, even just taking a quick 2-minute break to do this. It's like a magic pill. Perhaps do one more time on each side. Again, hit the pause button if you want to do more. Beautiful. Slowly come to center. The right knee is in front, right? So send your right foot between the palms, and then send your hands on top of your right thigh, or if you want, you can also place your hands on the blocks. I'll kind of show you the block variation and then the hands on the leg variation. We're just going to make circles here with our knee. So we're going to go either, let's now start with counterclockwise. What we see is that the knee is going forward and back and making a circle. But I want you guys to feel what it's like to bend that leg, open it up, sending the hips back, and maybe spending a little bit more time in the spot that feels good to you. So maybe it's this sort of short hamstring stretch, short back of the leg stretch. Maybe it's when you move forward where you feel the lunge and you really open up that left glute or ignite that left glute. That helps open up the front of the left hip. Totally up to you, whichever sensation feels good. So dialogue with your body. Keep making that circle. One more time, please. And then you guessed it right, we're going the other direction. Go slower if you want. And this motion may not end with the word asana. This may not be a traditional yoga or has a traditional yoga name, this movement. But our modern bodies are craving for modern ways of wringing stuff out, right? Which is exactly what we're doing. So we're kind of just doing some mobility drills here as well. But the principle is yogic. The breath has to be king, because all of this stuff that we're doing will not work if we're not paying attention to the breath. And then slowly come back to center. Good job, you guys. I will show the variation with the hands and the thighs on the other side. Come to quadruped. You can set your blocks aside for now. This time the right knee is going to be in, and then slide it back about 3 to 4 inches, and then get your left knee in front of the right knee. As close as it can, doesn't have to be perfect. Hands underneath the shoulders. This time we will start with our hips to the right, which is going to feel a little bit more restricted, and then the knees to the left is going to feel a little bit more allowance. Ooh. I believe we did this 5 times on each side the first time we did this, right? And really wring stuff out, you guys. Like, I really want you to feel like stuff is coming out of your skin. Anything that you don't need, any gunk that's just making you feel stuck, stagnant, unevolving, not growing. One more time on each side. Moan and groan if you have to. Again, hit the pause button to do more if you have to. Ooh. And then come at the center. The left knee is forward, so just step the left foot forward. Now I'll show you the variation with the hands on the thighs. So you can right here. We'll start with our clockwise motion this time. So just making a circle with that knee, starting a little bit small. You can kind of notice the pattern in this class is starting small at first and then just gradually, getting bigger and bigger. As you do more of this circle, you will notice again, the circles get wider. Maybe your hips go back a little bit more. And if you did this with the blocks before and that felt good, then revisit it. Do it again. Your hands can even be on the mat, depending on how open you are. Let's do 2 more circles in this counterclockwise motion. Again, linger in the spot that feels good to you. It could just stop right here, take a few more breaths, and then move. That's the beauty about the pause button. And then go the other way. Let's do counterclockwise. Notice how weird maybe that feels or how awkward. Of course, you're kind of peeling the inner arch, peeling the outer arch of that foot, and that's okay. Do you guys feel that? It just feels like the tissues behind the legs, my lower back, the front of my right hip, just like moving and they're talking to each other because everything's connected. 2 more circles in this counterclockwise motion. And then slowly come to center. Come back into your quadruped. Let's do 2 rounds of cat-cow just to neutralize. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And then open the chest, drop the belly, lift tailbone, lift the gaze. Exhale, go the other way around the spine. Feeling this activation of the muscles in the belly. Inhale, look up. And then slowly curl that spine. Beautiful. Come to center, tuck the toes in the back, and come into a downward facing dog. In this downward facing dog, the hands are going to be at least shoulder width apart. Feet are at least hip width apart. You're making that big letter A shape or inverted V, and your tailbone is the very, very top of that alphabet. Bend one leg at a time. Just keep breathing in and out. And this could be your most sluggish down dog, which is okay. Opening up the left leg. Opening up the back of the right leg. Feel strong in the shoulders. Soften the neck. Beautiful. One more time. Come to center. Walk your feet in a little bit, and your heels can even lift off of the mat, or they can just stay on the mat, totally up to you. Let the left hand reach towards your right leg. It could be grabbing the right shin, the right ankle, or the right thigh, whichever one is accessible to you. And if you have a trouble balancing here, just do your best. You can even just place your hands in the midline. Look at the space between your feet. Inhale here. And then exhale, release the arms. Hang on, let me just tuck my shirt in. There you go. Lift the hips up again. Making sure that there's a good distance between your feet and the hands, enough for you to reach your right hand towards your left limb, your left leg. Again, heels can be down or lifted, whichever feels comfortable. Keep lifting your hips up. Hands can be on the midline or on that limb. Last breath here, inhale. And then slowly come back into your downward facing dog. One breath here, inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. Shift forward and place your right foot outside your right hand. And then slowly come up. Place your fingers on top of your shoulders, like so. And then open your elbows to the side, and we're just going to do these, I call wind vane motions. So keep looking forward, but wring out your upper back, your torso, without necessarily moving the hips. Feel free to cushion your left knee. If your knee is sensitive, please do that. Squeeze the left glute to open up the left hip, but to also keep your legs stable. Do this 4 more times on each side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just let the legs stay where they are. Interlace the fingers behind you. Inhale here. And as you exhale, drop right elbow to the right. Breathe right there. Spend a few moments here. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly come up. Place your left hand outside your right thigh. Your right hand can be on your lower back. And then inhale, twist towards the right, keeping your spine nice and long. Just relax your facial muscles, especially the space right here between your eyebrows. It tends to tense up, and it doesn't really contribute to letting go, right? That's what we want. Slowly release from this. Get your right knee down. And then just send your hands on your lower back. Open up the chest. Get your elbows towards each other. They don't have to touch. Ignite your glutes. Open up the hips forward and just lift your heart up. Eyes to the sky. And as you exhale, slowly round. Get your fingertips close to your knees and eyes to the earth. One more time, hands in the lower back, camel pose. Elbows towards each other, lift your heart up, squeeze the glutes. And as you exhale, round the spine, fingertips down on the mat. Puff up your mid-back, eyes to the earth. Round it, round it. All right, slowly come to center. This time the left foot is going to be forward. Nice job. And then this time we're just going to do some shoulder rolls here. So I want you guys to just lift your right shoulder up, back, and down. And then your left shoulder. And do that a lot more times. Maybe let's do 8 times on each side. Notice how my elbow is just along for the ride and my elbow is not making that circle. That's how I usually see students do it. But just lift your right shoulder joint up, back, and down. And just let the arm hang. Up, back, and down, just that one direction. Feel a squeezing motion in the back of the shoulders. The shoulder blades coming in towards the spine, elevating towards the ears. Maybe 3 more times on each side, just for good measure. Nice job. Last. And then place your right hand on your left thigh or outside, left hand on your lower back. Take a big inhale here. Spine is nice and long. And then twist towards the left. Really ignite this right glute. Wake it up. Keeping that right hip open, but keeping some stability on your legs as well. Inhale here. Exhale. Let go of your twist. Hands behind the head. And then slowly drop your left elbow down. Open up the right side of the body. Right elbow lifts up, left elbow goes down. Spending a few moments here as well. Do the best you can to keep your legs stable and strong. And again, cushion that right knee if you have sensitive knees. Inhale here. Exhale. Please release the hands. Place them down. Lift your right knee off of the mat and rotate the body to the long edge of your mat in this wide-legged forward fold. Hands underneath the chest. Keeping your arms long and your hips back, softening at the knees. Inhale here. And as you exhale, bend those elbows and drop your head. Your hands can be on blocks, totally fine. Your hands can be on any props, big books, anything that lets the floor meet you halfway, just to make this fold accessible. Soften the knees. Try not to lock anything up. We're just really letting go here. Shake your head yes and no. Nod the head. Do whatever comfortable motion there is for your neck, looking left and right perhaps, just letting it dangle. And perhaps for this next one, you want to walk your feet in a little bit closer. That's fine. Left hand outside the right leg. The right hand can remain on the mat or on your block. And then slowly wring the body, twist towards the right, but keep dropping your head down. Not trying to achieve anything big here. Nothing magnanimous is happening. Just twisting the body in this forward fold. So try not to overthink it. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly release. Left hand is down, right hand is outside your leg. Ankle, thigh, or calf, doesn't matter. Inhale always to lengthen the spine, make that space. And then exhale, twist to the left and drop the crown of your head down. Wring it, wring it. Inhale. And then exhale. Nice job. Hands to center. Just kneel one knee at a time. And whenever you're ready, just make your way lying down on your back. Legs are bent, and just make sure that you feel almost like you're coming down and landing to a more grounded space, a more grounding energy. So be on your mat, on your with your backs on the mat, rather, and send your knees towards the chest, hands on top of the knees, and just rock left and right. As you're rocking, just let go. There's really nothing much to think about here. Just hands on the knees, and you're just swaying left and right. That is it. One more time, left and right. Just swing. Come to center. Lengthen and straighten your left leg. Squeeze your right knee towards the chest. Inhale here. And then send that right knee towards the armpits to make that distinction. Distinguish what it's like to open the knee out and to have the knee towards your chest. Again, bring the right knee towards the chest, back to your center. That foot is right in front of that knee. And then send the knee towards your armpit, opening it up. Inhale. As you exhale, just leave that right leg out to the side. Just open up the right knee and that right hip. Hands at the hips to kind of just bring yourself back to center so you don't collapse on that right side. Inhale. Keep both sides lengthened. And as you exhale, send the right knee to the chest. One last squeeze before you send it over to the left for a nice twist. Get your right arm out. Maybe rotating your neck towards your right arm helps. And then enjoy this twist. And then slowly release from this twist. Straighten that right leg or lengthen it. Send your left knee towards the chest. That foot is in front of that knee. And then send it outside towards the armpits. Again, make that distinction. Knee towards the chest. Knee towards the left armpit. And then slowly open up that leg. Drop that knee down and just make sure that that left knee is outside of that left hip. Hands can be on the front of the hips. Always finding any chance we can to find our center or to neutralize. Coming back to home base. Spend your last few moments here paying attention to the breath. And then slowly send that left knee in towards the chest. Have one last squeeze. Exhale, twist over to the right. You can lengthen your left arm out. You can look towards your left arm. Do whatever you can to convince that left shoulder blade to come down. Again, just land, ground, and anchor yourself to the mat as you're enjoying this twist. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly release. Come into your Shavasana, your last resting pose. Feet can be as wide as the mat or even wider. Traditional Shavasana, hands are along on either side of the hips. If you want to put your leg up on the wall, if you want to put your legs up on the couch, do that, whatever feels good. You can even be on your side. We won't stay long here, but if you do want a longer Shavasana, again, hit the pause button and spend as much time as you want here. For the rest of you, let's inhale through the nose And let's exhale and just stay here. A few moments, relax the breath. And start to deepen the breath. Take a deep inhale. And when you exhale, move your fingers and your toes, your limbs, perhaps your shoulders and your hips. Send your feet together. And next inhale, give yourselves a good morning stretch. Arms go to the wall behind you, toes point to the wall ahead of you. And then slowly step the foot in and roll onto a side of your choice. Gently pushing yourselves up into a nice, comfortable seat. Again, it could be cross-legged, it could be virasana, or sitting on top of the blocks, whichever one feels good to you. Let's inhale our shoulders up towards the ears. And then exhale, let it go back and down. One more time. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, back and down. This time the arms are along for the ride. Inhale, lift them up. And as you're rolling back and down, hands to heart center, thumbs are touching your chest. Bow your head towards your hands. And as we spend our few moments here with our eyes closed, I want you guys to reflect upon the practice that you just had and realize what these physical changes that we do really do introduce some other changes to happen. Not just inside the body, but inside the mind, our spirit, our energy, our soul. And I want you guys to reflect on that. And what may start as a physical practice really does evolve and grow into something else. And you sort of feel that internal bud, this flower that is just waiting to open up, to evolve and to grow. And we start doing that, breathing, moving, and allowing. Take a deeper bow. Thank you guys so much for sharing your practice today. I really hope you do feel a little bit loosey-goosey and ringed out. From my heart to yours, the light in me honors the light in you, which means namaste. Hope you had a good practice. For now, goodbye. Take care until next time. Peace out.